my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here.
All right, it is game time. This is week 4 of the USFL. I'm glad you guys are back with me. We have a matchup between the number 6 Philadelphia Stars and the number 7 Michigan Panthers. We have the odds and game lines for this week's game. We also have our CSB Best Bets for the week 4 matchup. So stick around, man. Let's check it out and see how it goes. All right, this is Common Sense Bets. I am J.K. Wilson. And remember, we are a small show using a common sense approach in a large sports betting world. Man, as we are a new channel, and most of you guys coming to this channel are new, and I appreciate everybody who stuck around. Just want to let you know that I appreciate all of my CSB soldiers who've been riding with me so far. In the future, I'm going to start having that names and your guys' names scroll across the screen in recognition of being a CSB soldier. And hopefully, as we get our new ones, we'll add those and announce those names on a daily basis. But once again, I want to thank everybody for joining this channel. Please remember, hit that subscribe button. As you know, a young channel, we are on our way to growing to 1,000 subscribers. I need you soldiers to come on and subscribe. It's free to subscribe, doesn't cost you a penny, and hopefully you'll enjoy the content that I'm putting forth in these videos. And remember, if you do like that content, hit that like button and help spread the content to others, because that does affect the growth of the show. So as I said, thank those that have been here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and help us grow towards 1,000 subscribers. And remember, it's free, and I can definitely use your help. I can't do this without your help. However, regardless of the subscriptions or the likes, I'm going to continue putting content out and continue trying to get better at the content. So with that said, I'm not going to try to be long-winded, as you guys who watch my videos already know that I can be. Let's get on with the show. Alright, man, let's jump on it. Like I said, this game is actually going to take place this Friday. It's going to be on May 6th. Eastern time. It's a 10 p.m. start, so it's kind of late there, man. You could probably be going to bed wondering how your bet going to work out and all that. And 10 p.m. Eastern comes on FS1. And like I said, we have the number 6 in my rankings. Number 6 Philadelphia Stars taking on the number 7 Michigan Panthers. And I'm going to go ahead and toss up on the screen right here. Take a look at the last 3 games of each team. Hang on, let me pop it up. Alright guys, that should be on your screen right now. Let's just get right into it. The last 3 games for both teams. Let's take a look at the number 6 Philadelphia Stars real quickly. Currently, the Stars are number 2 in the North Division, and as I said, number 6 in my rankings. Week 1, they lost 17-23 at the Breakers. Won 30-23 in week 2 at the Maulers, and this last weekend took a loss there, 16-24 to the Generals. So that's it there for the Stars. The number 7 Panthers currently sitting number 3 in the North Division right now, and their last 3 look, as you can see there, they lost 12-17 to the Gamblers week 1. Took another L in a tight game, hard-fought, low-scoring game, 6-10 at the Generals there, and then won last weekend. Got that dub, 24-0. Man, it's the first shutout in the USFL League this year, and it came at the hands of the Pittsburgh Maulers there. 24-0, man. So I know the Maulers are feeling pretty bad. They're not mauling a whole lot, but we'll get into that on a different video. All right, let's just click out there. Let's take a look at a little bit of the team stats and see what we're looking at in that area. All right, guys, as you can clearly see there in the last 3 games, I mean, both teams got a dub and got some losses. Of course, with the current win streak going there on the side of the Panthers, who got that win last week. Let me pull up stat sheet for you right quick as we keep moving on. You guys should be able to see it right here on the screen. We're taking a look at the matchup team stats there for both teams. Philadelphia there and Michigan, as I said, second in the North and third in the North going into this week's game. As you can see right there on the top, points per game, the advantage going to Philadelphia, 21 points per game to Michigan's 14. Neither team really getting it done there, but Michigan last weekend kind of got that ground game going. We'll take a look at that in a second as well. Passing yards also in Philadelphia's favor at 219.7. It's kind of why, like I say, you know, they're getting more points and more pass yards, and why I had them ranked where I did in my rankings. And that's compared to the 115.3 for the Panthers. But like I mentioned, that ground game, I mean, Philadelphia basically, I mean, do they even have a running back? I mean, is there a running game present at all for Philadelphia? 49.7 rush yards per game. Man, I think the coach can get the ball and run it better than the head coach, and he's pretty old. Well, not as old as me. And then that 169.7 for Michigan. Like I said, Michigan is basically defining themselves in these 3 games. They definitely want to be a run team, got a strong run game. Record is not showing it, but man, that 169.7 shows that. And pretty strong defense as well, and we'll get into that as well. A couple of more stats here. Opposition points for. Philadelphia is allowing 23.3 points per game to the opposition. And I get it a little closer to the top there. And the thing I talked about with that defense there for the Panthers, I mean, sitting at 9 points per game. And, you know, they're not playing against shabby opponents like their last 3 showed. I mean, they've played the Gamblers, even though the Gamblers up and down, a tale of 2 halves in most of their games so far. But they, you know, they played a tough Generals team. And that score, remember, they lost 6-10 and pretty much a defensive battle all game. I mean, so they're holding people to a low score. I mean, you know, you're talking about 17, 10, and then 0 when they shut the Maulers out. You know, and I'm not going to give them a whole lot of credit for that because the Maulers have been showing bad. But hey, a shutout is a shutout. And opposition pass yards, I mean, you guys probably read it already. Stars allowing 188 to the 114 of 0.3 there for the Panthers. That defense shining through yet again. Opposing rush yards 186. So they're giving it up equally on both sides of the ball to the opposition there for the Philadelphia Stars. And then the 105.3 there for the Panthers. Both defenses can do a little bit better, but like I said, I think the Panthers have an edge thus far when looking at the fact that they won last weekend and looking at the fact that they currently hold the edge stat-wise, as you can see from those stats that I just had up. And I mean, you know, you're looking at, you know, points for and points against for the Stars, 63-4 compared to the 70 scored against them. And like I say, Panthers offense running game is starting to get a little established, as shown with the win last week, but we'll see if they can put up more points. I mean, they're only sitting at that 42 points total right now. And but however, only 27 points against, and once again, their defense is also shining through. So pretty much stat-wise, I would say so far, as we start heading towards looking at the odds for this game, I would say the Panthers are going into that with the edge so far. So with that said, let's start taking a look at the game lines and what the sports books are offering. So guys, hang on, let me pop that up for you right quick. Alright guys, that should be up on the screen right now. Let me make certain I got it right, and I hope you guys should see it. I've been trying to work on the transition. I think that you should be able to see it well. And as we see, I'm using Fox Sports to begin with. We're going to take a look at a few other sports books as well, but we're going to go ahead and start off with Fox Sports. As I said in my week 4 rankings video, I'll be using them as a primary simply because they are sponsoring and basically the ones behind the USFL. So I just feel that it's fit to use theirs as the primary. Philadelphia Stars 1-2 versus Michigan Panthers 1-2. As I said earlier, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday, FS1. There are spreads available. We'll get into that. Just wanted to showcase what they have here. Their money line is sitting at a -118 for the favorite Stars to win. And as they show there, which I like that example. We'll talk about bet sizes and bet units on a different video, but basically a $10 one unit bet can win you $18.47 because that's $1.18 off your winnings. So you'll win your $10 back if you should win, plus another $8.47 minus the juice. The Panthers are right there at a -105. Underdogs, not too bad there. I actually probably will be taking the Panthers money line, and we'll look at what I'm taking in a few minutes. But definitely not this -105. That was actually when the lines first came out on Sunday night. Those lines have moved, guys. Like I say, if you don't get on some of these bets, especially with football early in the week on the game lines, you can lose on some good value there. So I actually made a bet already, and I'll tell you what that is in a little while. But as it goes there, bet $10 to win $19.52, which, as I said again, is your $10 back that you bet, plus the $9.52 you will win, because, like I said, you lose that $1.05, it's essentially, and some juice, according to the sports books. Total scoring for the over and under, according to Fox, early on was 36.5. Combined points for both teams there, and the books have pretty much stayed the same. I'm not going to pop everyone up on the screen. I'm just going to kind of run to them while I put this here. Actually, no, I'm going to take that down and just kind of talk to you guys directly, and I hope you don't mind as I pull these things up. Hang on a second. All right. Taking a look at Caesars right now. Currently, it is Wednesday, guys. Wednesday evening at about 3:52. Caesars Sportsbook has the Stars as the underdog now. As the underdog. Excuse me, not now. At a +1 at a -115. Panthers still are the favorites at a -1, as you can see there, and that's a -105 on the money line for the Stars. Now you have to think the Stars will win. To take that is not a bad play, nor is the +1 at a -115. Michigan Panthers got a little bit more juice on them at a -125, and it's juice because I believe the sports books are kind of telling you something right there. Caesars are saying, hey, if you feel the Michigan Panthers are going to win because we think they have a good chance to win, the stats say they have a good chance to win, then you pay a little bit more juice to us to make that bet. So you'll be losing $1.25 on $10 there if you should make it. And then the over and under, their line has moved up based on the Fox line there at 37.0. I think that's still playable if you're going to do the totals. Look at some of these games they've had already. Both teams are capable of putting up some points. The Stars had a game in week 2, 30-23 against the Maulers. But it's not the Maulers they're playing this game. 16-24 there as the Generals. I do worry about the Panthers putting up points, but if they do the same thing they did against the Maulers, then 24 points, and you add that on, that over-under is hittable. But like I said in my other video, man, on the recap, right now I'm really not playing a whole lot with the spreads. There has to be some clear division between the two teams for me to make that choice. I'm not comfortable with spreads with USFL 3 weeks in. we do have some baselines and some, some floor established here, but I think it's still a little too hectic for me. And common sense wise, I don't think it's smart to play the spread right now. Nor do I think it's smart to play the over and under. Maybe week 4, week 5, I may be more comfortable. Probably week 5, I'll have some stats. If I had some stats from last year, maybe to combine with what I have so far this year, I'll have a better, floor to work with. But I just don't think it's common sense to play those just right now. If you like your money, and I love my money, so I just like to make certain bets. A young league, new things going on, new players. I mean, they're playing hard, give them that credit, but you just really don't have enough to go on. I mean, I think there's enough to go on to say the Panthers will win this game. I just don't know if they'll win and cover that total, whether it be over or under. If I had to play it, I would play it under. Both teams have pretty decent defenses. Offense is kind of struggling there on both sides of the ball. The Panthers' ground game is going to slow the run game down. I mean, slow the game down because they're going to run it. And so, I mean, Stars like to throw the ball a lot because they can't run. So that's going to stop the clock. So with those factors, I mean, that's enough to say, okay, I feel like, I'll take that minus 115 on the under 37. I won't take it at 36. I mean, Fox at 36, I don't know. I want that extra point. So if I did lean anywhere, any kind of way on this, I would play the under 37 at a minus 115. But that will be just a lean, guys. Understand that. But what I will do is I'll give you actually what I want to pick on this. And to me, it's the common sense bet of the day. And I'll be taking for the site a minus 125 on the money line. I will play a full unit. And right now, for me, guys, a full unit is only $5. And I'll tell you why. It could be $10 like I used in my example. But if you're using $100 real quick, let's just say you do run $10 bets as a unit size, well, you're limited to 10 bets. That's 10 bets. That's $10 bets for $100. Unless, of course, you're like going back and forth to your ATM machine, to your bank account, and pulling more money out should you lose. I like to have proper bankroll management. So $10 right now for me, and only 10 bets. I mean, I plan on winning. Everybody plans on winning. But if you should lose and have maybe a bad run for a day or two, like I had a 16-day run, great the last couple of weeks. But 2 days ago, out of 5 bets, I won one was voided, and I lost the other 3. And then yesterday, I lost 3 out of my 5 bets, and that's in baseball, I'm betting, and in the NBA. USFL so far, I'm 8-4 overall with my picks. And that's because I'm using my common sense there, as well as in baseball and NBA, because I'm only making 5 bets a day, 3 in baseball, 2 in basketball right now. And that's because baseball, spring season got crazy. So the common sense thing is, lower your bet size and watch how you're betting, because the pitching is off, batting's off. Teams are still trying to settle on in because of spring training being really null and void. And then the NBA is the NBA. I mean, it's playoff time. Things can happen differently. I just don't trust them in the playoffs as much as I did during the regular season to make strong bets. So I'm just using a lot of responsible, common sense approach to my bets right now, and I'm limiting my bet size. But that's enough on that. I'll save more of that material for a different day about my common sense approach to betting. But like I said, we will be riding with the Michigan Panthers at a minus 120 on the money line for the game versus the Philadelphia Stars, taking place on May 6th this Friday night. So that's our pick for that one. And guys, we'll go ahead on and call that for the day. Remember, this is Common Sense Bets. I am J.K. Wilson. Dueces.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to